I don't want my grandson sitting over in Kuwait or Saudi Arabia, 15 years from now. In 2006, when I was in Iraq, Iraq, Anbar province, about the size of North Carolina, a very expansive area of operation, and we had units scattered all over, covering down on the villages. At that point, it was a war of counterinsurgency, but having young, 22, 23-year-old lieutenants leading a 50-person platoon, separated from his company commander by over 100 miles, doing the hard work that they needed to do. We had to sustain that. It was a time when we were taking a lot of casualties to the improvised explosive devices, mines, booby traps, small arms attacks, snipers, and we were losing, where we were in Anbar, we were losing almost a Marine or soldier every day. Our convoys were taking about 80% was bulk liquid. It was either water or it was diesel fuel. It was diesel to run the cooling in the operations center. It was the diesel necessary to run the generators to provide electricity for the tools to repair the vehicles, to repair the equipment. It was the long-range surveillance cameras, you name it. As good as our military is, it runs on a lot of diesel fuel. There was a statistic that in the Second World War, it took 1 gallon of fuel per soldier per day to conduct operations in the European theater. Today, that's more like 22 gallons per soldier, per Marine, per day to fuel the operations of our force. We are still very, very reliant on fossils, fuel to fuel the operations of our forces. But we are at an inflection point. While we have been in counterinsurgency operations going back to post 9/11, the last 20 years in Afghanistan, Iraq, our great power competitors who are out there and potential adversaries in terms of Russians and Chinese have been watching. They know what we do, they know how we fight. And the character, the tools of warfare have changed significantly in the last 20 years. And to be able to have that ability to build a massive fuel depot are nothing but targets today. We won't be able to do in the future what we did for the last 20 years, what we did in Iraq in 1991 and then again in 2003. We won't be able to do that. Those things are changing forever. So for us in the uniforms, are we interested in renewables because they're clean? No. Are we interested in renewables because they're green? No. It's about being lighter, faster, more lethal on the modern battlefield. That is where we need to go. So it is about conservation. It is about being smarter. It is about being part of the future and leading the way. When we look to these advanced energy technologies, the solar, the wind, the geothermal, the hydro. And the question earlier I spoke to a group today was, hey, Zilmer, you painted this very realistic, tough picture. What can we do about it? Hold your elected officials accountable. Ask them, what are they doing? What is their vision? What is their vision of energy independence? What's the view to assure that we aren't fighting a desert shield, desert storm 20 years from now? How are we assuring the energy independence for this nation for the next generation?